Hey, real fam, welcome to my channel. Please tell me if you can relate with this. Have you ever found yourself feeling guilty for not putting out content, for not, maintaining the consistency when it comes to social media, creating content, worrying about the fact that if you don't post enough, the algorithm will not recognize you, being worried that, okay, you might lose followers, subscribers, and all of that. I believe I'm not the only one. You're probably one of them. But I just want to chat a little bit about that. Have you ever given yourself time to understand that sometimes you just have to be selfish enough to accept that, you know what, you cannot show up all the time for everyone? Listen, hear me out, stick around, you'll hear where the story is going. So, for a period of almost a year, I paused on creating content consistently because number one, for about a couple of months, I was going through divorce and I couldn't create videos, like for example, creating YouTube videos like I'm doing right now. It was the hardest thing to do because I wasn't my best self. But at the same time, I would look at my channel and be like, oh, you know what? I wish for it to grow. But here's the thing, I want us to be vulnerable a little bit to understand that as much as we want to show up, there are times where you're going to need to be a bit selfish with yourself so that you can reconnect with yourself, so that you can rekindle and recharge. So earlier today, I don't know if it's today or yesterday morning. Lately, Metro FM is my go to radio station in the morning. And I think because of the spiritual alignment and the word of the day in the morning with DJ Sebi. So he mentioned something, and this is quite common, like the fact that the phones that we use every now and again, they really need an upgrade, right? They need an upgrade or an update. You have to update the software. And that reflecting to ourselves means that we also need to, step back a little bit to recharge, to regroup. So, real fam, for a period of over a year, I have been touch and go on social media and intentionally so. Why am I saying that? If I show up to a platform not 100%, listen, I'm witness to that, it doesn't go down well. You're gonna put out content for the sake of putting the content out, but you realize later, like, but what, like, why did I post that? And what was pushing me to post that? Because you can see that the quality of the content is just not the greatest. I deleted I don't know how many pieces of content from my platforms because I felt like it's not make sure. And here's the thing. I know that our social media platforms are spaces where sometimes we focus on our personal brands, but at the same time, we won't shy away from the fact that we aim to monetize them at some point, right? So, meaning you also want to make sure that even that personal freestyle, that collaboration that you wish to do with someone or with a company, with a brand, finds your content interesting, right? Gone are those days. Well, I mean, I'm speaking to those that see an opportunity to make money on social media. I think ever since we got aware or we became exposed to the fact that you can monetize your platforms, we've seen people evolving, people, changing how they create their content and actually leveraging to that opportunity where you can make money on social media. I know that your social media platform can be a platform where you just become yourself and do whatever. Listen, I do that most of the time, but at the same time, I am mindful of how this content can work for me in future, can work for me in the social media strategy or in the social media space that I want to see myself in, assuming that I'm going to be someone else's social media specialist, assuming that I'm going to be a company's digital marketer. So you look at how that content can also kind of connect with your possible or potential client or potential partner, whatever the case may be, right? And okay, I'm not digressing from the first part that I mentioned where I said I was off for a while, right? So there's this two parts of this conversation. The first part is understanding that there has to be a season where you do the social media cleansing. So forget the divorce part. After the divorce part, I also gave myself time to do what we call social media cleansing. Social media cleansing is taking time out from consuming too much content to just allowing yourself and your thoughts to just speak to each other and not to feed your mind with so many things coming from different parts of the world, different individuals. So I had to pause from that. I had to pause from different activities like challenges. I had to pause from going to a couple of events. I won't say I didn't become part of events this year. I have attended a few events, but I was very intentional about not availing myself for just everything. And I remember someone closer to me said that, Nthabi, you have an annual event, but like what's happening? Are we having an event this year? Blah 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 blah. And rightfully so, that's a very good question. It's a very good question because I have created a brand that has stated that, okay, annually we're going to have a Women Empowerment Summit um, between October and November, right? It was like that. And the process of divorce came in, and that affected my entire year. And another year came in. So this year was supposed to be the year where I did it, where I do the event. But I had to sit down with myself and reflect and say, Nthabi, but are you ready to do an event? And ready, I don't mean I cannot create a poster, create a theme, and invite people to be a part of the event. Creating an event is bigger than that. You really and with my experience or yeah, basically my experience of doing events and also my experience in attending multiple events, because also remember that we don't attend these events just for the sake of learning or listening to what people have to say, but we also take note of how events are conducted and all of that, and you realize that, oh, okay, actually there has to be a level where you up the notch a bit, where you apply this and that. That's called learning and being able to what you take advantage of the value that you get from an event that you're attending and all of that. So that's basically how I've been learning, and I realized that I think there's a lot of pruning that needs to be done, a lot of grooming that needs to be done in certain areas. And I needed to really be realistic with myself to say, we're not ready to host any event this year. And that's okay. And with the same breath or in the same breath, I know that now this is the other part. The other part is that when you need to do the social media cleansing, yet you are using your platform as a business platform. Um, some use it for both. I use it for both, but with the intention of making it a brand. I mean, your personal brand also is business if you look at it. Okay. So, with that part said, there's also that thing that says, hey, girl, I hear that you are going through a season where you just want some time out from social media and all that. Great. That's wonderful. But now you have created or created a brand that says that, okay, this time of the year you're going to be doing one two three. After a certain time you do one two three. What are you saying to your audience? Aren't you confusing your audience? And how are they supposed to stay with you if you're not constantly delivering on that? Yes, we get that you need a break. Yes, you have a design business. Are you saying that you're not advertising the business because you just feel like you want some time out? Or are there any measures in place? Now, this is where something or some kind of a reflection came to me, or epiphany, if you want to call it, where I was like, huh, really, girl? You cannot be doing things on your own and vanishing for a while, disappearing, and everything stops. You have to come up with a plan. It's either you find a better strategy to make sure that as you take some time off, the business is running. As you take some time off, you've got at least enough content to keep your audience going, even on days where you just feel like, mm-mm, you know that you have scheduled or you have content in place where at least you can edit what you've created, not necessarily create, but you've created it already. All you gotta do is just edit whatever that's there. Okay. And I think now as I mature in this space of content creation, business space, I realize that, hey, as much as we give ourselves time to just take a break, sometimes we have to make sure that there's some kind of what work happening in the background. And let's just be realistic, real fam. Some of the content creators, like, I mean, grateful that I have employment, grateful that I'm able to do my business, grateful that I'm able to create content and get a bit of money from YouTube. Grateful for that. Grateful. There's someone who is solely dependent on creating content, on putting out content. And what that means is that you if you don't do anything, it means there's no money that's gonna come in. You get what I mean? So we have to strike that balance. This is not me in any way saying that you have to shy away from the fact that sometimes you just have to close that MacBook, close that laptop, put away that phone, and just say, listen, I'm out. I need some time out. Nothing wrong with that. But realistically speaking, there has to be what we call preparation for such incidences or such times in our lives. So I think I want to use this analogy or a phrase that says you have to like save for a rainy day. Um, in my language, Setswana, it says that ditlamelwana tsa pula di bankanya go sa le gale. So meaning you prepare for something that will probably happen later today. So you put measures in place. And with content creation space, we know, I mean, for example, YouTube itself, we know that you can binge create where is it binge create or bulk create? Comment down below, tell me. And subscribe if you haven't. Like this video if you're getting something out of it. Okay? Love you lots. All right. So binge creating and all of that. So you know that you can binge create and at least have enough content that you'll know that you're gonna put out for a while and all of that. And I'm so glad that I'm saying this as someone who is also realizing and learning from that, because real fam, if you know me, you know that I was a very consistent content creator, especially on YouTube. For me to be able to even get to 1,000 subscribers, 10,000, I mean 4,000 watch time, real fam, I was on lives, I was doing master classes, I was putting out videos. I had different segments on my channel, and I was consistent. I was going and going, and then after that, after a while, it was just you know and now my channel is, thank god, is on, and thank you real fam that you have subscribed and being a part of this family. Now that my channel is on over 3K subscribers, hello 3K. What this means to me is that, girl, no matter how slow the pace was for you to get where you are now, girl, there's something here, and you have to take advantage of it. There's something here, and you gotta make sure that you keep going. You don't give up, you keep going. So all I'm saying, real fam, is that let's. This is me having a conversation with my girlie to say, or gentlemen, of course. I know you watch my channel as well. I love my girlies. Okay. So basically, this is me saying that it's okay to take a break, but remember to get back up and make sure that you get things done. Listen, this is the reality of life, and unfortunately, we now in a what I think in a phase of life. Okay, let me try to rephrase that. So I think each and every year there's so many things or so many things that we're learning, so many um upgrades in life that we see. Look at what's happening now. Podcast is like the in thing, and I must say a lot of you are killing it out there. Salute to you. I'm still polishing my podcasting thingy, and I'm grateful that I've started. If you haven't started, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Anyway, walala wasala. Rona, re ya ko pele. O tla re kry-a ko pele. So real fam, all I'm saying is this. There's so much upgrade, so much growth that happens each and every time. So if you are not um, taking advantage of the current skill that you have and try to make sure that you level it up, try to make sure that you do the best that you can to get to another level, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, this is me talking to myself, and at the same time, I'm talking to you to say we have got to strike a balance. Now, this is where now balancing comes in to say, yes, let's make sure that we do not deny ourselves the reality of life. That there are days where you just don't have that thing or that zeal to do what you need to do, but at the same time being realistic with the fact that if you don't do it, no one else is going to do it. It's as if like I don't know what example to use. It's like you being a mom to um I mean, I have a new little niece. That's what I'm talking about, making that example. He's just the cutest thing ever. Allow me to just allow me that moment. He's the cutest thing ever. Okay, no, let me not show him. I was about to show you. Anyway, so you'll see him one day soon. Yeah, he's still a few months old. Anyway, just too excited. Anyway, what I was trying to say is that imagine you as a mom to a new baby, a newborn. If you are not there, this newborn won't be able to do anything. He won't be able to feed himself. He won't be able to change his own nappy or her own nappy. To You can even say fall asleep on his own or on her own. So meaning, this the little baby or the newborn is dependent on the mom to make sure that they're okay. So in a nutshell, your YouTube channel is dependent on you to grow because you are the content creator. If you're not creating content, it's not going to get to 1,000 subscribers. It's not going to get to that 4,000 watch time. It's not going to get that AdSense paycheck if you are not creating content. You get what I mean? So that's basically what I'm saying. So it's the same thing as that business, whether it's a side hustle, a part-time job, whatever. If you are not working, money is not going to come in. If you are not advertising, money is not going to come in. You get what I mean? So those are things that we also need to look at. um a bad day, unfortunately, will not change the fact that someone else wants a job done. It's like, for example, you wake up tomorrow, um, you're not in the best space, and you got a client that requested a service from you. You are going to have to make sure that you Tintita yourself, you fix yourself and make sure that you deal with whatever emotion you are in, and then make sure that you tap back into work mode and get things done. Similar to waking up every day, going to work for an 8 to 5. You wake up not feeling the greatest, or you got not so great news, whatever the case may be. You can't expect work to stop, or you can't just call your boss. Today I'm not feeling that great, I just woke up feeling otherwise, so I'm not coming to work. It doesn't work like that. You will have to wake up and get ready and get work done, because at the end of the month you expect your salary in full to be, in your bank account. So you cannot compromise that. So I think it's also understanding the values, and also understanding that as much as we're tapping into the reality of our emotions, the reality of how we feel and all of that, we are also realistic with the reality of um, bills needing to be paid. Um, Understanding that not everyone will understand our emotions and respond how we wish they could. If a client comes to you and says, I want this and that and I need it by when, you can't say, Ish, you know what, I'm not feeling that great. I think I'll give it to you after 2 weeks or whatever. The client wants it within a certain period, after 3 days or whatever, depending on whatever project that is. It's either you're going to give them the savers or they're going to go somewhere else. So I know there are things that you can pause on, or just decide to say it can pass and all of that. But also understand that you have to strike a balance. Let me not what over over like let me not go overboard with this conversation. I think I've said what I wanted to say, and I had I have been reflecting rather on this, and it's something that I also realized from my end, because at some point for a while I was just down, 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 down. And I'm like, girlie, if you're gonna be down for a while, there has to be a plan. What's the plan? What are you doing? Okay. So with that said, I love and appreciate you. Thank you so much. Please subscribe, like, and comment down below. Like, why am I using my hands anyway? Thank you, real fam. Remember to make today count, and take care. Love you lots. Mwah.